Where I left off in my last video, I said I was done planting for about a month until it warms up, dries up. Yeah, I'm not. I must have got enough people excited in the neighborhood. There's a few other guys planting early beans. Nobody's going crazy, but some guys are planting beans. Got Pro Box ready. On the way to the field now. The ground we're going to is some really clay, yellow clay, not much dark dirt on it. It's old reclaimed coal mine ground. It's all been coal mined, so it's steep ground. It's going to be really dry, a lot drier than what I did yesterday. And yeah, we're going to see how it goes. This ground warms up a lot quicker and tends to dry up a lot faster, so we're hoping by planting some beans early, if they don't get killed, of course these beans all have free replant, but if they don't get killed, they do come up, they ought to be sitting pretty good. We usually get kind of dry in August, and that's when we really need rain on beans, so hopefully by doing this, they make really good beans. I mean, again, we're not going crazy planting 200 acres or anything like that. We're just kind of testing the waters and experimenting a little bit with soybeans. They are treated, so we'll see. Hopefully they come up. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Like I said, I've never done this before. Just to kind of give you guys a layout of the land out here. This is an example of ground that's all been mined. It's really steep. Really steep, not much topsoil. This was mined 5-10 years ago, and they've just started putting they started putting it all back 5-10 years ago. But yeah, that's the type of ground we're getting ready to go plant, with less trees and grass and such. If the field's as dry as the road, we're gonna have it made. I honestly think that these beans have a pretty good chance of making it. Hate to say it, this ground is a lot more fit to plant than any of mine, and it's going to be raining most of this week, but it's supposed to stay warm enough that they should come up, and we're really pushing the limit. I mean, it could easily frost after these things get up. It's still very early here, but we'll see how it goes. Actually making a little bit of dust back there, believe it or not. It's planting pretty good, planting plenty thick because they're early, but I don't think the monitor's reading quite right. I haven't quite calibrated the monitor. I put in the same speed set number as I did with the 611. I don't know if this one's geared different, but technically it has the sprockets on it to be planting 180. Watch my marker here and make sure I don't snap it off. Alright, but technically it should be planting 180, right around 180. I know these always plant a hair thicker than what they're set, but we're planting. And it's doing a good job, putting them about between an inch and a quarter, inch and a half deep. This ground's pretty hard out here, so there is some variability there, but we'll see how these go. We've got about 40 acres here we're going to put in today. Enjoying life. There's a little bit of a cover crop starting to come in here. This is just wheat broadcast last fall, but it's funny that we're actually planting soybeans before the cover crop even really had a chance to take off, so I have to get in here and burn it off if these beans actually come up. I'm going to plant through a little bit of old alfalfa up here too. I'm just going to plant right through that, so it'll be interesting to see how this planter does planting in really thick residue like that. I kind of have my doubts with those rubber closing wheels up front that'll have a real good stand with those front rows. But just gonna no-till straight into this stuff and see what happens. About ready to fill up again. About to get into the cornfield over there. Just getting the sod done. Gonna jump over the corn next. Good running in the corn ground now. Even stirring up a little bit of dust back there. It's planting pretty good. It's getting them all covered, which is good. And this dirt's really crumbly. So it's got good seed to soil contact. Depth's pretty consistent now. We got that dialed in, so planting pretty good. Pretty happy with the planter so far. Big difference between planting with this tractor and planting with the tractor I used to would be that this one's on 46-inch tires, and that last one, well, it's not. It's on little small tires, and it used to beat the heck out of you sitting in it all day. This tractor's got a nice smooth ride. Planter's riding nice and smooth. I like it. I like it a lot. I even missed the first riser pipe of the year with a marker, so that's good. I'm pretty good at hitting those. I really like how this planter flexes. I've been planting these terraces out here, which the phone doesn't show how steep they are, but that planter flexes very well, which is good because I've got a lot of those in some ground I farm. I'm loving life right now. I thought I was done planting for another month, and when I got that phone call this morning, hey, you want to go plant more beans? I'm like, yeah, I do. I love to drive tractors. Shut up! My monitor. I need some seed sensor work. It's windy up here. But, got out just to check seed. And, well, in case anybody accuses of the ground not being fit, I'd just like to say, you know, this dirt, you can't make a ball out of it. It's a little bit on the heavy side, but I mean, you can't ball it up. It's pretty crumbly stuff, so plenty dry out here. It's just a matter of, is it gonna stay warm enough for these to grow? If they do, there'll be some phenomenal soybeans, but if they don't, well, there's free replant. Now, as much as I hate to admit it, I drive fairly straight, but in this no-till ground, it would be very nice to have some sort of guidance system, because it's kind of hard to sight. I usually don't look right in front of the hood. I plant straight enough. Shut up, you're planting. I got a row sensor that's acting up, but it is planting. I've got out like 20 times. But I like to sight way down the field and really get a straight line, not just look immediately in front of me. I can plant fairly straight doing that, but it would be really nice to have a guidance system on here. Just rolled in here. There's a lot going on right now. My pickup's missing. I have no idea where it's at. But the keys were in it, so it's hard telling who took it. What is this thing? It's all blue. I really like this tractor though. It turns super sharp. It's not my tractor. I'll specify that. No, I did not get a new tractor. Buddy of mine's tractor. We're just parking it here for a little bit. But really, really nice tractor. It's quiet. The cab's a lot more comfortable than the Magnum. Similar horsepower, same frame, or similar frame. But similar tractors. Just, this is a tight squeeze in here. I'm trying not to run a sweep in his tire. But very similar tractors, just a lot nicer cab in this one than the Magnum. I like it. This tractor would look really good pulling that Kinsey. It would actually match. And he's gonna pull a John Deere planter with it, so we're gonna have a blue and white planter on a red tractor, and then a blue and white tractor pulling a green planter. It's like Helen Keller hooked this stuff up around here. So all in all, ended up planting 46 acres the last 2 days. The planter's dialed in, got the closing wheels right where I want them. Seed tube sensors are lined out, monitors lined out now. Population's right where I want it, depth's where I want it. That thing's ready to go. So the only thing I want to get for it still is hopper extensions, because I could not plant very long at all and I had to fill up. So I don't like that. But other than that, it's a really good planter, and it planted really good. It's raining out very lightly out there. It's raining lightly right now, but it's supposed to stay warm. Supposed to. Hoping it does. If it does, they were calling for 3 inches of rain this week, and they've already backed it off down to like a ½ inch. So we're not going to get the monsoons that we thought we were. And if it stays warm, I'm going to have soybeans up in March. So I'm probably going to regret planting for somebody else today and wish I'd planted more myself. But we'll see how it goes. Rolling into work this morning. It's a nice 60 degrees at 3 a.m. Getting a nice gentle rain right now. These soybeans might actually stand a chance. And yes, I work at UPS too. Good morning. Shuffling equipment. Taking the gravity wagon out, that way there's a straight shot all the way down the middle of the back building here. And then the planter and 7140 can go back out here down the middle of the building. That way I have space in the shop to work on things, because I want to get the planter hooked up, or not the planter, but I want to get the sprayer hooked up to this, or at least get all the monitors in it today and get them mounted. So it would be nice to be able to do that in the shop and not have to do it outside. Tractor's yet to been washed, but the sprayer's hooked up. Got to get the monitors in that and get it all calibrated, cleaned up, get the loader off of it. But that's what I'm going to spray with. When that thing's full of water, it's going to be quite the load on it. But it's got the power, I just don't think it's got the weight. But we'll see. May do some trading, I don't know. Well, just got out of church. Had to drive out here, check out the field that I planted. It's been exactly a week, and some of these beans are starting to do a little something, believe it or not. The coldest weather that's in our 14-day forecast was last night and the night before. From here on out, we're supposed to be fairly warm. So based on what I'm seeing out here, these are actually going to grow. So you can see they're swollen up, and they're starting to germinate very, very slowly. But if you dig down, they're all starting to come up. So it's really, really slow, but they are growing. It's probably a bad idea to drive out here, but I need to get the backhoe back because I've got some terraces that Well, they need some work because there's about 5 ponds in this field right now. And it doesn't make sense because the top ones are draining, the middle ones aren't, and the bottom ones are. So something's screwed up. There's another one out there. It's a little odd that there's a terrace below that one. It's draining. The ones above it are draining. So not really sure what's caused that, but I need to get the backhoe out here and bust the dry dams on them, and then hopefully they'll dry up enough that I can dig down and get on them, get them back together, and go from there. But definitely not going to be spraying through that anytime soon, and this field is really greening up, where as soon as it's halfway solid out here, I'd like to be burning this down. So that's going to wrap things up for this video. Basically, you know, these March planted beans, supposed to get in the low 60s today, 65 tomorrow, and in the 70s after that 3 days from now. So looking pretty promising for them. It is going to drop down to 29 one night this coming weekend, but even if it does frost, I don't think it's going to frost hard enough to hurt them really. So I'm going to call that good for this video. Be sure to comment, rate, subscribe. Feel free. This channel is taking off a lot quicker than what I thought it would, so I appreciate that, and you guys stay tuned for more. This was going to go in the next video, but I get a delivery in today. Gonna be a lot of spraying to do this spring.